Let's see what happens. What's up everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. We're going to continue to work on the E36, but before we start this video I want to give a shout out to all the new subscribers on the channel. Thank you guys, that helps a lot. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. That helps the channel, help me provide more content to you, and so I can finish this build. So let's get this video started. Today we're going to be working on the E36. As I've said, I'm going to be flushing the engine and the cooling system and give the car its first start, since we have done some work on the engine. Let's see how that works. I have bought some products to help me do that. I bought these two LiquiMoly products. This one is an engine flush, so we can put it with the new oil and it will rinse all the dirt and the dirty oil, the dirty old oil out of the system. And this is a radiator flush to do the same thing, get rid of all the debris that is inside the radiator and all the hoses. Let's see how these two products work in the end of this video. Also I have bought some oil and filters. It's the cheapest they got. It's just to flush the system, and then I'm gonna get rid of it and put a better one if this fix works. We're gonna see if the oil doesn't go to the air filter as it did in the previous state of the engine. So guys, let's crack at it and start the work. Let's start with changing the filters and putting some new oil, and then clean up all the hoses that goes to the radiator and the turbo and intercooler, because they are full of oil, so it will be less oil in the system, so the car doesn't smoke too much. And then let's turn it on and see how it will work. So let's start with the oil and then clean up all the hoses. Let's go. This engine takes 5.5 liters of oil. I have put 5 liters, and now I'm gonna pour in the LiquiMoly, and that will fill out the remaining oil that it needs. So let's do that. Now that the oil part is done, let's start to clean up the hoses on the intake system, and so then we can put the cooling system back on, so the car can be working for a longer time without overheating and without damaging the engine. So let's clean up all the parts and then assemble all of the cooling system, and then we try to turn on the car. So here we are, guys, we are about ready to start the car. The reason I put the car like this is to open the gate with the exhaust towards the outside so it doesn't get too obnoxious in here because of the gas. So it's safer that way. Now I need to charge the battery. Let's take it home to do a charge. It will take about a couple of hours, and then we'll come back and put the battery in the car and then start the car. So let's go. Here we are at home trying to charge this battery that is drained out. I bought this battery charger for about 30 bucks. Let's see how it does. For now it is on a mode before charging. It takes about 5 minutes on this setting, and in 5 minutes it starts to charge. Let's see if this is able to charge. If not, there is a repair mode. As you can see, there is 5 modes, different modes. This one is for car batteries, it is now. There is a repair mode. Let's see if it charges. If it does not charge, we'll try the repair mode. For now, let's wait a little bit. So 5 minutes later, it already started to charge. As you can see, the screen is displaying a couple of information. In this case, the degrees there are inside, the volts that it is charging, the amperes, and that's it. And it's about, the battery is about 60% by now. So let's wait a couple of hours and see if this charger works. And if it works, it was a very good deal for 30 bucks only. And let's see if it works on the car. It's been a couple of hours now, and the charger says the battery is full. They recommend to let it for charge for about 2 more hours to stabilize the charge, I think. So let's wait a couple more hours and then try it on the car. So guys, we are back from home. The battery was, at least theoretically, it's all 100% charged, no problem there. The charger worked very well. Let's try it out now that when we start the car. So let's put the battery in and finally start the car and see what happens. So let's do it. So guys, this is the moment of truth. I'll need to keep an eye out on the water level because it only took about 2 liters. It hasn't already gone to the radiator and the engine, so I have to keep an eye on that. I cannot bleed the system because the bolt has broken. So let's try this way and see how it works. I will then put the LiquiMoly cleaner only when the car is working. So let's try it out and see what happens. So here we go, guys. I'm always afraid when I do this kind of stuff, so let's see. It's making a lot of noise. It's a diesel, so it's normal. And it was a cold start, so let's wait and see what will happen. the water for now. Okay. So let's let it work for about 5 minutes, then I'll put in the radiator cleaner and we'll see from there. So I have finished with a flush on the cooling system, the first one at least. I think I'm gonna need more. Look at the color, at the rust that is in here. Look at this. Jesus, that's a lot of rust. And there is still a lot of rust in the hoses and on the radiator. So I'm gonna do another flush. I'm gonna use the remaining of the LiquiMoly fluid to clean the radiator and go from there. So here we are. I flushed again the cooling system. The water is still very rusty, but not so much as it was. Next thing I'm gonna do is put more water in the cooling system before I add the coolant to do a final cleanup. But I'm gonna do that with a new oil because I have run this oil with the LiquiMoly mixture for too long. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk damaging the engine. So let's drain the oil. But first, let me show you the water that came out of the cooling system, how it is right now. Here it is. It's still very rusty, but I think it's not rusty as it was before. It's more clear. I don't know. I know that it doesn't seem that way, but it is. Now let's drain the oil. Let it sit like this for a couple of days to drain all the oil, and then we move on to the next thing. So let's drain the oil, guys. So that's it, the oil is drained. I'm gonna let the car sit for a couple of days because I will not have time to work on the car until next week I'll be working. So the car is ready to get to put some new fluid in, some coolant and some new oil, better oil. So let me show you the difference that it did all the flushing of the engine. This is before we did the flush with the LiquiMoly. As you can see, there's a lot of debris of the old oil on the walls of the head. So let's see the difference after we flush. As you guys can see, let me try to get this. Try with a flash. So as you can see, the walls are much cleaner now as it previously was, and now it's like this. I think it's much better. And the video of the before, the car has sitted for about a week, so the oil had time to drain all out. So now there is still oil in the head. That's normal, but you can see that it's much cleaner inside the engine. As for the coolant, it's still rusty, but I think it's a lot better. I still gonna flush again with only water, but I will do it with the new oil in. And guys, for the oil problem going to the intake, I have taken out the intake and the air filter. The air filter is a little bit dirty because I was not careful putting it in. My gloves were full of oil, but as you can see, there is no oil inside the air filter. Here in the breather, there's also no oil. I cleaned it up after I changed the oil and put the liquid. I've not cleaned it up since. This is how it is. And here in the intake, as you guys can see, there is still a little bit of residue. I think it's the previous, the one that was already there, because I cannot clean this duct here. I'll close it up. So guys, in the next video I'm gonna change all the seals in the engine, the valve cover seal, I'm thinking about changing the water pump as well, the thermostat, all the seals that I can get into, so it will no longer be leaking oil and all that stuff. So it might be a while before I release the next video because I have to get all these parts. So that's it. I hope you guys have liked it. Please guys, it helps a lot if you subscribe, if you like this content. It helps me provide this entertainment for you. Guys, if you have any suggestion, any tips, what I have done wrong, please let me know. I'm here to learn. I'm not a pro. As I have said, I'm not a professional mechanic. I'm just learning. This is a hobby. So guys, hope you have liked it. Please give a like and a sub, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.